Boy, if you put crystal at my ass, it would get so activated. Honestly.
So, it's not been that long for our viewers potentially, but it has been long for us. So I'll remind you what is actually happening. You are investigating the western barracks of the Greywater fastness because there is supposedly cultish activity headed by the captain of this barracks, Captain Fornoy. You spoke to a couple of deserters who told you that there was some grim evidence to such points inside the administrative building, and using a combination of boxes and folding up Dreadbark like some IKEA furniture, you have made it to the administrative building.
And some incredible guile.
There was some guileful guile.
Fast talking.
Indeed. So we rejoin the... Yes, go on.
Just wanted to remind myself a couple of facts as well before we... There's nothing specific was sent here, sort of advised to visit here, or just that it was a potential hub of activity.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correctly? But we were pointed towards the tower, which we've made our way to.
Yes, so Astrid Tavir, who is dead, insinuated that Captain Fornoy was in on it, as did the deserters. And you've essentially been tasked by Onderan to find out exactly who is corrupted and is driving Greywater towards this war.
Secondly, what did we come across when we got into this tower? I feel like we may have left it. Maybe you were just holding on to that.
Yes.
Okay, good. I thought my memory had failed me at a critical moment.
Yeah.
Okay, right, good.
Yep. So
it's a nice castle, isn't it? Or compound.
Yes. So the tower that you're in is much like the Astrid's Tower, as the stairway goes around the outside, and it has, to your eyes, 7 floors. Apart from the 2 guards stationed outside who eye you suspiciously, there is very little sign of activity within the tower. It looks like it's been deserted for some time or very rarely used. On the first floor, you find a kind of drab office, and amongst this office are papers which look like architectural plans. And as you study them, you see that it is a plan to install a 8th floor to the tower. And any of you can do a 4-1 theology test to see if your characters realise what that means.
Do I do theology? I'm good now.
This guy.
I've got clevers.
Wow, what a god botherer.
You have theologized.
It's actually a
triple
Orthodox
one.
church. It's an Orthodox tower.
Yeah.
This is a bowling alley. It's very popular.
So, Klaus, you know that this, number 8 is Korn's number. Suspicious. Not hard evidence, but eerie.
Yeah, I'm tingling. My corn senses are tingling.
As you make your way up the deserted tower, you reach the third floor. And the third floor was the one that the deserters told you contained kind of a grisly trophy room that led them to finally quit the Grey Caps. And it is not obvious, but you find a suspiciously unmarked door that is locked. So I'll need a 5-1 dexterity test for you aspirant lock pickers.
Now,
Doesn't feel too good about that.
Dreadbark can get a long wooden finger in there. See if he can jiggle it about a bit.
That's such a disturbing picture in my mind.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Fingering
salad
the
fingers.
lock. Yeah,
Salad
exactly.
fingers, but balsa wood, you know.
Ugh.
What was the DN again, sorry?
5-1.
Easy, mate. Oh!
Nice.
Oh!
Whoa.
It takes less than a second. You
So
barely hear it.
dexterous. That's 3 successes with your focus.
Sorry, that's my door just gone.
We have 4 successes with a metal. Jesus. Wow.
Well, the door is super open.
It's so open. I'll wait till Alex gets back. Well, look at his. What's that on his chair? It's not Leviathan, is it?
Oh, it might be. Well, the dreadnought in it, isn't it?
I feel like.
You guys. Don't peep. Don't be peeping Toms.
No, don't look, internet. Don't look.
Don't look at the spoilers.
What's he got up there? He's got his anger on as well.
Get some elevator music. Wait.
Hear the cogs whirring in our brains, isn't it?
I mean, it can only be, right? I can see a white thing on the end that looks at the apothecary.
Oh yes, that'll be it.
Mm-hmm.
I have made a pact. 3 ways.
3 ways?
Yes, I'm going to split the Space Marine. Opal will be taking the Tyranids.
Oh, nice.
Managed to come up with an arrangement of splitting the Space Marines.
What are you getting?
The
Dreadnought.
Terminator Captain, Dreadnought, and the Flamethrowers. Again, possible. Then he's getting the Stern Guard, Prairie, and something like that. Anyway, I've foregone the Terminators, even though it seems obvious that I would take the Terminator because I have quite a few Terminators already.
Yeah, and you want that. You want that Deathwing.
I do. I don't know if there will be such a thing, but I'm content for now. So yeah, this would be nice to get a couple of the new things. The Terminator Captain should be pretty cool, and the Dreadnought I think will be a nice bit of fire support in an operation.
Yes, it's definitely not what I recall you lacking, but
It's only the Hellbusters that do anything. Who knows? Who knows what they'll be like in the.
that's true. That's true.
Any weapons from the Dark Age, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, now Space Marines can like point at stuff and they die, so that's pretty good. Yes.
Sorry about that. That was my food arriving.
That's all right. We might have seen what's on your chair behind you, and also the internet might have seen it now. So.
Oh, smoke bomb. There's nothing that you can see that isn't public knowledge, as far as I know.
Exactly. So we'll move swiftly on. You've definitely gotten inside this door. Sick. And inside is a room, and along the walls you see these huge iron plaques that are covered, and etched into each of the plaques are tallies with names next to them, and each of the plaques is decorated with different skulls. And you recognize several, you see a lot of them have different names, and you notice that the plaque that has almost double the tally of its next nearest competitor is a Lieutenant Ortez. Oh, sorry. No, wait. Yeah, Ortez. It's spelled two ways in this book, weirdly.
They don't seem particularly discreet at covering their tracks, do they?
It's spelled in two ways. Let me see if I can. Oh, it's Oretz, not Ortez. Got Ortez there. It's gone again.
What do we think's on the menu?
I feel like
curry.
I feel like he's definitely ordering something or another. Oh, actually, yeah, Milo. That katsu curry I had at Society was really, really nice.
Oh, I've had some katsu fries, which yeah, good to know. Good to know of a good katsu.
Is katsu fries like just fries, but in like a katsu blend of spices
and sauce?
Oh wow, does sound good.
Yeah, you ate well that day.
Indeed, it was glorious. I'll have to have KFC again.
Yeah.
We're not talking Kentucky.
Fuck Kentucky, right?
Hell yeah, fuck that shit.
Yeah, that was good. Right, so you ascend the tower once more. And on the 5th floor, you find what looks to be this Lieutenant Oretz's own office. And inside his office, you see a series of steel cases with books in are bound by black iron chains.
That does seem a little suspicious.
What do you do?
It's a good question.
I see metal, and I am tempted to transmutate it.
Oh.
Know what effect it will have.
Can you turn it into any other metal? Is that it?
Yeah.
So potentially. I mean, I didn't, it's a long time since I've done my chemistry GCSE, but you could always turn it to a more brittle metal.
This is the thing. I was thinking, like, if you're a real chemistry nerd with that ability, you could do like, I change it into potassium. Just pure potassium reacts with air and makes a bang, or something that nobody knows.
I just retcon like a Warhammer metal.
Yes.
What, like falls to bitium?
Yeah, exactly. Beryllium.
Yeah.
If James Cameron can do it.
What is it?
There's
No,
the
what?
disdain.
What's the brittle one? I mean, if you could heat it up,
Gold.
I think iron
Gold
is.
pretty brittle.
Is it?
I don't think so.
It's not meant to be durable, right? That's why it's never used as armor or weapon.
It's soft.
Very soft
Is
is the
gold.
point. There's a low melting point, and it bends and cuts, and it's very soft in all kinds of different types of pressure. Will change its shape.
What about
But I
brass?
don't think it'll snap. I don't think it's brittle. Anyway,
Well, I ain't gonna start turning stuff to other metals if we don't even know what it's gonna do.
Does it Mikey have like a melt metal spell?
He does have that ability for sure.
Because he did it on the hinges.
Yes, which went very well, but it was
Seared into my memory forever.
yeah. It was a
Hinge,
memorable
so-
time. The hinge off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hinge off.
I mean, knowing knowing Sichuan and Mikey probably is the first thing he would do.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Vargi would like to have a little look around to see if there is anything more obvious solution, like a key in a drawer.
What?
Just a thought.
Give me a good old Indo. What is it again? It's not intuition,
Info
is it?
roll.
Indochina roll.
Is it intuition? What have I said before?
It's probably awareness. Intuition's more like social.
That's true.
And I say that as someone with better intuition. Bank me some good DM credits.
So you search the office. You do not find any keys. What's more, you don't find any keyholes with the chains.
Expecting the chains could have been used. Good. Well, Vargi knows his talents have reached their inevitable conclusion.
I know we probably need to open and read one of these books as evidence, but I want to register my concern at what will happen when one of us reads one of these books.
What do you mean? This is Warhammer. Nothing bad happens when you.
It's Soulbound, man. It's Age of Sigmar, man. It's such an airy fairy setting, man.
That's true. Nothing bad happens.
What harm could there possibly be in knowledge?
Right. Well, there could be a risk involved, but I'm gonna say it. I'm pretty sure we need to know what's in those books.
Agreed. But I urge caution.
All right, old Bernie hands. You do your thing.
Oh, little man.
Is that Sichuan?
Yeah.
Okay. He takes a moment as he tries to remember how not to make hurricanes. And
I was an airbender now.
Right. Wingardium Hurricane. Wait, no, hang on. No, that's wrong.
Yeah, I guess he waves his. Or I want him to do like a Doctor Strange where he like claps his thingies that he got his braces of iron, and then the chains like melt away, and the
Hell
books are free.
Well, since you did the honors, you should probably open them, have a read too. Got a little bit of a headache from all the smooth talking and stuff. I don't read in any suspicious. You're something of a scholar, aren't you?
Well, it has been said. I mean, I was
vulnerable to flattery.
That's what they say. Want to disappoint them.
I was a learned man before I arrived at the Soulbound, yes. Always how's it go?
Alright, so you pick up one of these books, and as you open them, it's actually more like loose reams of paper, loosely gathered, and they all feature scribblings that read to you like prayers. And within these prayers, it is describing in graphic detail the glorious act of murder in various ways, and ways to dedicate such acts to the one that is known as the Blood God.
Oh. So, fellas, there's some mention of a blood god, and
some sort of blood god.
Some sort of weird kinky shit they're getting on there. Lots of blood, violence. What do you make of that?
Well, so far so much expected. What about who owns this? Who's written these notes?
Already, yeah.
Well, you're in the office of Lieutenant Oret, so you could assume that this is his, or even if he didn't write it, he's got it, hasn't he?
Okay.
It's pretty cut and clear, isn't it? That's some pretty good evidence.
About the LT, certainly.
Yeah. Also, I forgot about the Clargy fanfic that's in the works as well. So the Kinky Chains is providing ammunition.
Sigmar save us.
Exactly.
Well, I suppose we should probably pack that up and see how much worse this tower gets as you go up.
Yeah, Vargi, do you want to hold on to it? Bag or something?
A good plan. I'm sure that
either matic bag.
Sure that Norgrimsson has some kind of stasis chamber or.
Oh well, you would be right. I do have several suitable pouches.
It's
friendly little poems.
It's a safe spot to keep it until we have to present it to the right bodies, right?
Yes, excellent. I would love to carry those. Very, very much so. Yeah, very, very much. Yes, indeed. He'll take the books with his best winning smile and pretend he's okay with this situation. The evil books in his miraculous backpack.
Isn't it canon you have like a whole filing cabinet in your suit, like contracts and?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's very much, it might seem a bit bag of holding-y, but that's techno.
Exactly.
I feel like this is going to follow a fellowship thing where you're now Frodo carrying the Ron ring. We're going to have to support you and motivate you.
What it feels like.
Go on, Mr. Vargi! That's what Sichuan's new input is going to be. That's going to be the Sam of the group.
Except Sichuan would just run away.
Brave.
Run away.
People are like, oh, you go up Mount Doom, and I'll stay down here.
Listen, if they had a
cast
hurricane to carry
hurricanes
them to the Mount Doom, it would have been over.
That's true. Fly, you fools. He meant
nice.
he meant cast Hurricane. That would have saved Boromir as well.
Yeah, Lutz has nothing on Hurricane.
What's your soul, mate? What's your soul determination? Nothing.
Lutz would have a high soul.
Yeah, to be fair, I would make him. Yes, Vargi is Mary Poppins. He does have a bag of holding. That'd be sick. That'd be sick. So
I mean, I've got a flower that I grew that allows me to fly. So
oh yeah,
there's a lot of weird things in this game.
But no Dick Van Dyke yet.
Insist on being able to fly every game you play.
Stop breaking the mechanics, Alexander. I will play some Pathfinder, and you can spend 7 levels as an urchin. That's more Zweihander, to be fair.
Onwards.
So you reach the top floor, number 7, and it is a grand office with Captain Fournoy's name written on the door. But apart from it being quite nice, quite luxurious, there is nothing completely out of the ordinary. There is a desk. There are windows looking out over the grounds of the barracks. And that's it.
Not even if you have a good look around.
Give us a good look around test.
The last one went well, so this one should go. An okay look around.
Unfortunately, you don't need to look too close. Searching his desk, you find a large brass key sitting next to a lump of blood red wax. The wax features a version of the Greywater Fastness coat of arms, but instead of the S in the middle, it is replaced by a grinning skull.
So even though they are filled with bloodlust and an insatiable desire to claim skulls for the Skull Throne, they have still got branded stationery.
Yeah.
I respect that.
I mean, when you're at the top, what else are you going to do?
I don't know. I just do not know what else there would be. Very good. We found a key. Sure, that'll come in handy.
Well, have you played a video game?
Chekhov's key.
Yeah. This is the brass key for the
Dreadbark
brass
would
door.
like to search the room for a keyhole, a hidden lock of some kind that may match the key.
Go on then.
This is not going to go well because Dreadbark is not very observant. What's the DM?
4.
Also,
Possum.
all right, well, you got 2. That's better than 1.
So you do not find any place to put a key. It's quite a big key, big chunky metal key.
Mm.
You might have for like
No.
a church door or something.
Something ornate.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But you do have...
Unless I was looking for the wrong thing, I think we're done here.
Yes, but you do have some evidence.
Our goal here is not necessarily to take down the entire garrison.
No.
And yeah.
Just thinking back to when you mentioned that the captain was in the chapel. But, you know, what we're here for, we're not
That was
crazy.
That was actually the lieutenant.
Was it?
In the chapel, yes. Who you now know is called Oret.
And it's naughty, evil chaos worshipper. Probably.
Naughty boy.
Or at least is in possession of proscribed texts.
Exactly.
Alright, well, I think it's probably time we got going. Now, there is that nasty Oretz to deal with. I'm just simply not sure that we could do that without drawing a little bit too much attention. He glances at his, sort of subconsciously at his, his ethermatic volley gun, knowing that it's got him into trouble in the past.
Dreadbark intellectually knows that that's true and agrees, but also really wants to interrogate one of these cultists to find out if they know about the source of the corruption. So I think he would want to go after Aretz, and says, if the lieutenant is in the chapel, could we not, accost him within the building and still make our escape?
It could definitely be done. I'm not always one to push my luck, but I do believe there'd be value in it. One less filthy chaos worshipping grey cap.
I mean, the more chaos we kill, the better, right? Doing Sigmar's work.
Oh yes, very much here to do Sigmar's work. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Then we're all aligned.
Oh, excellent. Well,
it's
all we gotta do
Erixian.
now is negotiate our ways back over to the chapel with these boxes, and then capture or kill or interrogate tenants, and then get out again. I think it'll.
Yes, that is a good point. I'll get back in the box. That's okay.
That's as good a plan as we've got. It's a very nice box, so hop in.
Cool. Dreadbark gets back in the box.
Then Vargi will leave the crate of genuine weapons and things in wherever it was supposed to be. He said it would be just in the tower somewhere. Couple that from the wagon train.
Mm-hmm.
So that it does look like they've.
Okay.
If we're stopped on the way to the chapel, tell them that the lieutenant asked to inspect this crate personally.
Absolutely. Special delivery for the Chaos Worshipper Lieutenant. That's what we'll say. I'm very comfortable about this whole thing. I can't wait to get back out there.
So you make your way around the courtyard, around the hundreds of grey caps, and you make your way to the chapel, which is the bottom left building. And the guards at the door ask you to halt.
Guile sheet ready.
Guile sheet. And I say, what is your business? The lieutenant asked not to be disturbed.
Well, I have right here a package specifically for the lieutenant that he insisted he inspected personally. Nobody else was to see it but him.
Roll me a guile.
Rolling guile, what's the
Just a routine weapons test.
Everything's fine, thank you.
Now. Yeah, thank you. We're fine.
I'm going to say it's a 5-2.
5, yeah.
Don't forget you can use your metal.
I'm using it.
I'm using it.
Ah!
Nice.
I mean...
So the guard, perhaps one of the other guards, says the one who's talking to you, "Oh, I did actually hear about a special delivery for the lieutenant. I feel I want this right away." And everyone says, "All right then, fair enough. We'll be quick about it." They open up the doors, and as you go in to this side of the building, you can see actually this side is a training room. And you can see that the training room is like specks of blood, maybe even bits of flesh that have been cut off that you recognize, and almost every surface has had big axe chunks taken out of it. And on the far side, you can see a great reinforced set of doors. And Klaus, you can sense arcane wards on the doors that will immediately set up an alarm if the doors are tampered with. But there is one big, juicy keyhole.
I'll relay that info to the team. Champ, so this door seems to have some kind of alarm system built into it. Some magical properties going on there.
Well, it shouldn't be a problem if you use a key, right? That's probably how it works. Not my first touch, you know anything about magic, so...
I mean, one could presume so, but, you know...
I wouldn't want to presume, Klaus. I'd want your blessing as a man of the arcane arts.
That'd be hard to come by. I'm not too keen.
Bark rolls his eyes and just like gets his bow out, knocks an arrow.
No, stop there. Waves his arm around, trying to
ready to go through the door, basically.
Oh, okay.
Just hold on, just one little moment, lads. I just want to just check in on one wee thing. So, what if? Hear me out. This is possible. What if there's a commotion or alarm or something inside, and we're in here and all them around? And I just want to make sure we got a plan. You guys weren't going to think about that. Right. That makes sense.
Listen, I see a door with a lock, and I open it and see what's on the other side, you know?
We need to know what that captain knows. What happens after that, we'll deal with.
What if I turn the door to gold?
You see, that's some proactive thinking.
Alright, just like one more thing. Are we going in for a chat? He's probably not gonna want to chat, you know.
we've got delivery for him, right? Carry through with the delivery.
I mean, I'm just wondering if maybe we can get him in this here. Right? He can snuggle up with Dreadbark.
Indeed.
I am not positive about that plan.
Be quite the sight.
I'm not positive about any bit of this bloody plan. Anyway, I suppose we best get going.
If we deliver this crate to him and then have a chat, get some information out of him, and then have our way with him violently. Dreadbark pops out the box.
Klaus, phrasing.
Yeah, I said violently.
Right, well, very good.
Mm-hmm.
You only live once and all that.
Right.
He produces the key and gives it to Klaus.
Why me?
You just seem so keen on getting in there. My old friend.
My old mucker.
And I've got to lug the crate around, so you know.
Trying to hide his obvious nerves, he clambers the key, jittering a bit, gets it into the lock.
Who has the natural awareness of 2 or higher?
I do.
If I also do.
I have got 2.
I think everyone has 2 or higher, actually. Like 2 you have 3, and 2 you have 2. As you get close to the door, you hear the sound of pained cries coming from the other side of the door.
Oh dear.
I hold and listen a bit longer.
That's all you can really hear.
Okay.
Yeah, he just wants to listen to more of it. But I just keep listening. So.
I'm gonna get my recorder out and save this for later.
Is there a Spotify link?
I thought you meant like a recorder, like a...
The instrument.
Wow, all of us. Every single one of us.
Like
Yep.
like a Mr. Tubness. Alright. Yeah, it's true. Vargi is the walking inventory, so it's important to keep him safe.
Was that a contribution from our viewer?
Yes.
Excellent.
You are the analogus. What are they called? Dialogus, yeah.
Or something.
Scrivener.
Which one's which? No, not a scrivener. Scrivener.
A pox scrivener.
Oh, love that guy.
Not as good as Sloppity Piper, who you all killed horribly.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. I'm so sad I didn't get to take part in the killing of Slop.
I know. I really wanted him to somehow return.
I mean, he will eventually.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, eventually. Bleh. Right, so you open the door.
Klaus opens.
Klaus opens the door. Fire trap.
I just retcon that I cast a shield on myself beforehand.
Yeah. Inside the chapel is a nightmare. The statues and icons of the gods of order have been destroyed, repurposed, carved and repainted into grinning, leering demons. A blood-stained wooden altar bears the mark of Khorne, and skulls and bones have been roughly plastered into the walls. As you enter, you see one figure kneeling at the altar, who you assume is Lieutenant Oretz. As he screams in agony and tears free of the chains that are wrapped around him, you see that his reward from the blood god for his slaughter is being delivered.
Oh no.
In front of your eyes,
Delivery.
you see the cornet runes across his flesh glow like molten brass. And he becomes a Gorgoroth.
Oh god.
Not a Gorgoroth.
Oh, let's fucking get in there and interrogate him. Yeah, that seems like a good idea.
I can't believe
Yeah,
you were so close to just walking away.
Vargi wanted to walk away. It would have been a clean job. We can't trust anyone.
Walk away. Right.
Pretty church, though. I like the church.
Yeah. It's
Looking forward to being entombed in it.
I wouldn't say looking forward.
not looking forward. So in terms of zones, it's 3 zones: the altar and the 2 wide rows of pews. The pews are difficult terrain and partial cover. So we'll just say it's like although let's just separate it like this. Let's give the middle bit its own zone as well. Right. And of course, yeah, he turns and sees you and attacks you like the crazed monster that he is now. So.
We will be asking the questions.
And don't forget, the last time you saw a creature of this type was when your party member died.
You also have a trap for it or something, or we're more prepared.
Last time?
Yeah.
No, I think it was also a surprise as well.
That was at the farm, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Initiative Duardin.
Activate Buffbot.
Buffbot.
Go gadget damage.
Buffbot
Go
gives
damage
you.
accuracy.
Yeah. He gives you +1. He gives everyone in his zone +1 accuracy and +1 damage, and he picks this zone.
Which zone?
The left zone of pews,
I see, I see.
and he ducks in the pews.
There's some ornate pews.
Yep. They're difficult.
Told you it was my church. Lots of weeping angel statues in every alcove as well.
A bit, you could say grimdark.
About to
Gothic
get
more.
grimmer and darker, lads.
Yeah, true. There's not enough blood already. It's gonna be a whole lot more.
Right, Vargi.
Right. Vargi, so we're +1
Right.
and accuracy.
Right.
Alright, he's going to go for the head.
Go for it.
What's the target's defense, sir? When increased by 2 steps.
It is superb.
Superb. Okay, that's fine. Because Vargi's also superb.
Oh, shit.
At killing.
The thunk, 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 thunk. And here's, let's see what happens, eh? Let's see, I'm not going to describe what a cool shot it is yet. Right, Athematic volley gun. Bam. We're gonna, it's important, so we're gonna use metal. I need to make sure this guy gets stunned. So, we're gonna hit on 4s. We got 3 bonus dice. Here we go! All right. It's every fucking time. It's gonna be.
It's a cold shot, you say?
Yes. So if I'm just recalling the rules. So if I'd increase difficulty by 2 steps. If it deals any damage, it also receives some. But I still managed to get 6 damage with 2 points of armor piercing. 7 damage actually with the +1.
Okay, so how much damage? 7 with 2 armor piercing. Okay, and you stunned him.
And he's done.
Wowee!
Wowzers.
But that was I used all my metal to do that as well. So that's Vargi done as a hail of bullets crashes into his bloody skull.
And you only made him angry.
No.
Um,
Hopefully angry and wobbly.
So he is also initiative 6. He charges across into the pews, scattering them everywhere. And as he gets used to his new form, he like slams against the wall and he's tearing at the statues and the columns, and dust motes and bits from the ceiling start cascading down, turning all of the zones lightly obscured. And he will attack you, Vargi.
Why? I didn't even want to be here. I mean, oh, come and get some.
Now let's see. Bone tentacles. Right, so his melee is superb.
Bone tentacles.
What's your defense? Average, you say? That's not very good, is it, Beard? So that's 8 damage. And you are restrained within the bone tentacles, sir.
That's just wonderful. So that's 5 off me toughness. Pleasant. Armor. Love you so.
But he cannot spend his metal.
This turn.
This turn.
So with restraint, does that mean you can't actually take an action? Or do you just receive like negative effects to any action you take?
Or reflexes to escape. That is.
Let's have a quick reminder of.
Vargi is neither mighty nor quick. He's merely well equipped.
Restrained character cannot move. Restrains creatures' melee accuracy and defense decreases 1 step. So you can do actions, you're just worse at it.
I forgot to do something. Allow me to recon one thing.
What is it?
I can get a free shot at him when he enters the zone.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
My standard fire talent. I was just reading through my talents going, I wonder what I'm going to be able to do about this.
Yeah. I mean, you don't normally get the chance because things don't enter your zones normally.
Right, exactly. I've used it like once. Right, I'll just quickly fire off this extra shot. Blam. So his defense normally is
Superb.
I see. It's still get 1 range bonus. 3. All right. So we make that 7 damage total with 3 armor piercing this time.
7 damage again.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 AP.
Yeah, he's only got 1 armor, so
Well, lucky.
yeah, it's just
Or he'd feel bad about it.
3 armor piercing.
Gotta roll all those 6s, man.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a fairly balanced mechanic though, right? Because it doesn't necessarily boost damage past a cap.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, 3's armor is the most I've seen.
Unless you're a tank.
I think that's still the most I've seen.
No, I mean a literal tank.
Oh, I see.
Our steam tank.
Oh, yes. Yeah, of course.
I might just keep expanding my kit to have more armor just so that we can see what it's like to have a 4 armored dwarf walking around.
Chunky.
Anyway,
Chunky
sorry,
boy.
as you were.
Klaus, it's your turn.
Right. Think of the very bloody onslaught. I'm gonna pop some shields on my boys. So 1 for Vargi. Boom. 1 for Dreadbark.
Yay!
And Sichuan's not here, so he can get fucked.
Yeah.
Bot can eat at the damage.
Dreadbark then.
Already? Oh. Normally it's a few hours till it's my turn.
With no Mikey, so.
Okay, alright, well, we'll just go for some point-blank shots then, because I can do that now because of my talent point-blank range.
Ooh.
Nice.
So I will do a take aim, which improves my accuracy by a number of steps equal to my level of focus and dexterity, which is 2. So my normal accuracy is good. It's up to great because of Sichuan, and then taking aim at the target costs an action to do that, but it puts me up to extraordinary accuracy. Which might not be necessary, but I can't remember. I think actually it is necessary because the target's defense is like really good as well, isn't it?
Superb, but reduced to great because it's stunned.
Excellent. So I will still be winning on 2s then if I get up to extraordinary. Haha! Yeah, so doing that, and then doing a cold shot on his head to try and keep him stunned for another turn.
Okay, yeah.
So this is 6 skill, 2 wound, Gazongas. Yeah, so we get the full house, 6 successes. So it would be the normal damage would be normal damage would be successes plus 1 on the great bow, so that would be 7. But I get another one for Sichuan's thing, taking it to 8. I get another one for crack shot, as a typical shot action. So that makes it 9. And then also, because of pierce armor, I get to ignore a point of armor for every 6 on an attack roll. And I did roll 3 6s. So it's actually 9 damage at AP minus 3.
Hell yeah.
Your bow does more damage than Vargi's volley gun now.
That is
Never thought I'd
spicy
see the
indeed.
day.
It's a fucking last cannon, lads.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Dreadbark.
Alex finally made a min-max character. Hooray! It only took 10 years.
Dreadbark, describe to me how you point blank execute this Gorgoroth.
No way! What the fuck?
So happy. I'm so happy. It's so good.
That was like a Yu-Gi-Oh play. You were like, here's my trap card and I use this.
One moment, kinda.
This is when like the anime camera spins round and Dreadbark's feet make the tiles shatter.
Oh yeah.
So here's what I'm picturing. Right? Here's what I'm picturing. It involves a small amount of ineffectual retconning, right? When we went through the door, we were still kind of hoping we might be able to negotiate or talk to this guy, right? So
yeah,
logically that means that Dreadbark might have remained in disguise. So Dreadbark was still in the box until his turn, at which point, literally Jack in the Box, the lid explodes outwards. He pops up with bow sideways, gangster style, and just like point blank, just lets it go like that, right in between the eyes,
in his little skull head,
right in his funny skull head, and it
Nice.
explodes apart, showering the whole chapel with gore and skull fragments and bits of brass.
Nice.
Because there's a lot of brass that comes from nowhere.
Yep. And you say, this is for that character who we used to hang out with.
God, you! This is for John, you!
I mean Daryl's character, but I can't remember his name.
Yeah. I'm much more into my GM NPCs, to be honest. So.
I hardly knew him.
Cool.
Dick.
So, in his death throes, he releases Vargi from his bone tentacles, but he clatters around, smashing pews and hitting wooden beams. Detritus falling from the roof of the chapel, turning the zones into a minor hazard. And before you even get a moment to think, you start hearing banging on the big brass doors, and you hear the grey caps trying to get in, calling for the lieutenant, and shouting about intruders.
Hey lads, you know what I was talking about? What we'd be doing after we met the lieutenant? Does anyone have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, probably time to make our departure, I'd say. That's our cue, right?
Yeah, there are windows, but they are
There's a window.
they're boarded up, but it's just like wood.
Arcane bolt the window.
Okay. Yes, sunlight streams in. Well, not sunlight, obviously, because it's greywater fastness, but light streams in.
Like
Great
from the
light.
furnaces.
Yeah, Manchester light streams in.
Yeah, checks out.
Bah. I'm gonna look out the window, see if it's a jumpable height.
It's ground floor.
Ah, brilliant.
But you see obviously like the wall of the barracks, the other side.
Shit.
If only one of you had the ability to fly.
It's just the one of us, though.
Yeah. I mean,
We're unlikely,
Dreadbark can be fine.
we're unlikely to stealth our way out, right?
Mary Poppins is way down there, but
I mean, the wall is... Might be able to tell you.
Yeah, what do I see the barracks outside, but do I see anything else?
It depends
Green,
which
green,
window
green
you
wall,
broke, because the back windows would face just the wall of the barracks. They go onto the street. Or there's the windows that
mind.
face out into the...
I had in my mind it was like on the side ones.
Yeah. So actually, it doesn't say there's any test to go over the walls, scale the walls. Must be like, Soulbound boys. I mean, Dreadbark's so tall and
Yeah, I
strong.
don't think Dreadbark should have much trouble really.
Like boosting people over the wall.
Yeah, and he can pretty easily give people little lifts. Very strong. Body is 4, so I feel like
Yeah,
that's reasonable.
yeah. It's like that bit in Guardians when he's like stretching.
No spoilers, please.
I mean the first one.
Okay.
I haven't seen the new one. But when Groot's like stretching up
I haven't seen the second
in the
one.
prison.
Get the second one.
Oh wait, no, I have seen it. The second one's with Kurt Russell as his
It's
dad,
his
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's shit because you were like, I've not even seen it. You put it out of your memory.
I
Third
still
one's
like.
meant to be much better, by the way, and be on par with the first.
I still like the second one. I think it's underrated, but that's a conversation for another time.
Yeah,
Well, for the podcast, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect for the podcast.
I dread to think what Mikey's opinion is, but we'll probably have to. we'll have to get
He's
into
probably
it.
not seen any of them.
No, he
Oh,
has.
Daryl probably won't have seen it either because he's probably not seen every
Comic book.
film in existence yet.
Yeah.
Ready for this one?
Right. So what's the plan, chaps? Hop for now the window.
Climbing up Dreadbark like he's a beanstalk over the wall, I think.
Perfect.
All right.
Yeah, attempting to do the same, but without any grace whatsoever.
I never have grace anyway.
Tripping over your cloak.
Yeah,
Stepping on Dreadbark's nose.
it's big.
Oh,
You hold on to his
Yeah.
nose like Pippin does. Treebeard. It's talking, Mary. The tree's talking. Well, you hop, foot it over the walls, and
Ooh.
manage to escape. And you hear the doors being broken in, and the arcane wards going off, setting off triggering the alarm. Whole barracks in chaos as they discover the lieutenant's body. But no, you are nowhere to be seen.
well,
You've
they
escaped.
discover Gorgoroth's body.
Yeah, Kurnoth's body, but I imagine it's like like the Hulk or Jekyll and Hyde, that you can kind of see it's still Oretz.
Yeah.
Like the Hulk kind of looks like Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, I get that.
So, and it's like a ritual. They probably know what's going on. Anyway, yeah, it's like ninjas. Most un-ninja-like party ever, but yeah, somehow escaped.
Hey, I feel like Dreadbark's been a pretty good Hanzo
Yeah, that's true actually.
this whole time.
That's true actually. Oh, they should do like ultimates in RPGs. You get
Oh,
ultimate abilities.
yes. Why is that not a thing?
Isn't Hurricane an ultimate?
No, you can have a fucking time.
There's no cooldown on that, apparently.
Yeah. Well, maybe
That's-
that'd be a
that's like,
fix. Maybe that'd be a balancing thing.
That's like one of Riot's new champs.
Yes.
First, before they get their first big nerf.
Mm-hmm. This new support champ is so insane, you guys. It's like Yasuo's wind wall, but 360, and you can't go through it.
I want to play some. Anyway,
No. I like
I
my
don't do that.
chill. I want to keep my chill from my holiday. Thank you.
Yeah, as long as you can. Don't let it go.
I saw I was listening to a thing, and somebody had like a sound box thing, and one of the things like a scream, and they were like, "Oh, is that you playing League of Legends? Is that you like losing a game of League?" And they were like, "No, that's not the sound you make when you lose a game. When you lose a game, you've accepted it and you are in a state of ultimate depression. The scream is when you still think you can win, and your teammate has like just inted or something, just thrown it away.
Classic teammates.
Yeah,
It's those feelings of
Yeah. Fucking other people. Who wants to play with them? Bastards.
We need teammates, right? God damn.
God damn.
If only the whole world was just me's. You know, lots more of me.
Yeah. Or you play the best genre RTS and you just play 1v1.
It's a good genre.
Got no one else to blame.
Yes.
Yes, so do you return to Duran?
Yeah, I should think so.
Yeah, may as well.
yeah. Hastily, I should think, hot-footing it through the streets.
Yeah. No time for beef sandwiches now. We got to report
Well,
back.
there's always. As long as it's not busy.
I think it's pretty much always busy. It's very popular. Like top of timeouts best.
As you move through the city, and out of the noise and the calamity of the Western Barracks, the distant sound of tolling bells has intensified. And the people on the streets are alarmed, and other grey caps are going to and fro, and you hear people shouting that the Sylvaneth have reached the walls. And you hear the booming of the cannons on the walls, signalling the start of the siege.
Well, not to worry, guys.
Chaps.
We've killed one chap and stolen a book. So
I think we can pretty much call it a day.
You're doing Sigmar's work.
Shall we hit the tavern and not much more can be done here?
Job's a good one.
time for a celebration cutscene, I think.
Drinking montage.
In the Gwent.
Gwent. What's the Warhammer Gwent? What?
Well, the game they play.
Regicide, isn't it?
Regicide.
In 40k, yeah.
It's definitely not just chess.
Do they just have a tabletop? They just play as themselves?
Yeah. What?
That kind of...
It's like a hologram like they have in Star Wars with the claymation
Chess.
monsters.
Star Wars chess.
Yeah.
I'd love it like a Warhammer blackjack like they have in Star Wars. They have the Pazak.
Mm.
Hell yeah.
I think there are games you can play with the Emperor's Tarot.
Yes. There are many Warhammer card games, as we've discovered.
Not
Right.
surprising to be fair.
You return to Ondervan in the Griffin Hall. And you find him pacing his office, visibly stressed, sweat gleaming on his forehead. And as you give your report on what you found, you hand over the evidence. He says to you, "This is far worse than I could have predicted. I suspected Fornoy, but to have such a number of enemies within our walls, and within our policing free guild no less." And he says, the Sylvaneth siege has already begun. I'm not sure if spreading the word of the Chaos Worshippers within the Great Cat ranks hours before a siege is in the best interest of the city. But perhaps it is the right thing to do, and that should not matter. What do you say, Sigmar's warriors?
We've got to stop the siege. We've got to break the siege. Right.
Aye, but the presence of
Otherwise,
bloodthirsty chaos cults could be quite detrimental to the defense efforts. I don't think their goals are just join the battlements and fight the Sylvaneth. We're killing our own. People need to know.
I agree. All the more important to own these traitors are. Besides which, our only true method of halting this war is to track down the actual source of the corruption, turning my people to a choice they would never have taken. If we can bring peace to the Sylvaneth, we bring peace. Full stop. The only way we can do that is by rooting out the source of this corruption. We don't do that without sharing what we have learned. Perhaps we could make other allies on the council or other force their hand somehow. What do you think, Gonduran?
He's sort of he looks like he's really struggling with what to do. And he says,
Sophie's choice.
Him and us both, mate.
And he says, we could arrest the people responsible at the top, but we'd have no idea what their loyal servants inside the Grey Caps would do. If the Grey Caps decide to not defend the city, thousands could perish.
If we let this battle proceed without proceed as it is, without taking action, more thousands will perish.
More thousands? More than thousands?
Thousands.
More thousands than my thousands?
More thousands than one.
He says, I fear that with the evidence pointing towards Astrid and Captain Fournoy, I believe there is one last there is one last piece of this corruption that needs dealing with. Our good friend Gulban Goldrock. Given his power within the Brotherhood, his allegiances with Astrid, and his strong relationship with the captain of the Grey Caps, as well as the evidence that you found when you recovered from the Black Cog, I feel that Gulban is up to his neck in this. We must decide whether we enlist his aid in defending the city, or we bring his corruption to an end and let the consequences be what they may.
Yeah, I think the dilemma here is our mission was to save the city, right? If the city burns and we cure the corruption, uncover all that, then aren't we just done nothing, right? We've got to minimize the damage, right? Minimize the collateral as much as possible.
Agreed. Which is why the only solid course of action is the one that has a chance of preventing the battle. We confront Gulban, force him to tell us how to pacify the Sylvaneth. Their cult has done something to my people. Only Gulban is the last person, our last chance to find out what that is, and reverse it before this battle brings thousands on both sides to their death. If we throw our lot in with Goldmane knowing he's culpable for this, purely to protect the city, we merely become Sylvaneth murderers. When we know, all of us, they are not to blame for their aggression. We are heroes, and heroes' jobs is to protect the innocent and defeat the evil. We know who's evil here. I will be going to confront Goldmane. Be honored if you would join me.
Well said, my twiggy friend. I'm in.
Yeah, sounds like a party. I'll get my finest attire.
It's gonna be a party for everyone except Golden Bloody Goldrock.
Shall we invite his son as well?
Yeah, he was a good guy.
What was his name again?
Tegan.
Tegan, yes. Let's summon Tegan. Make him do it. I mean, what?
I think he
Make
was
him do
called
it.
Belfast, Blackened Hands, Orange, Protestants, etc. What else do you say when you're doing a Northern Irish accent?
He wasn't Northern Irish. He's from Inisherin.
Nishirin.
Okay. Maybe I'm not very good.
Richie.
Not very good at accents then. My bad.
Or maybe I'm not.
Maybe none of us are, to be honest.
Maybe they're all
What's an
made up.
accent?
Yeah. Yeah, Tegan owes you for destroying all your loot. So, as chat has just said.
Maybe he'll soften up Goldmane. Maybe we can, use him to weaken Goldmane, make the fight easier.
-2 defense from Tegan. The Tegan aura. Right, so you have to find Goldmane then?
Go find that rat.
Let's go find that dwarf.
That
That
ratty
Pokemon.
Endrinmaster. He called
So, who?
Goldmane. What's his title? He's like an engineering lord or something, right?
Steam Lord? Or is that
Steam Lord.
Steam Lord, yes.
Yeah, that's a cool title.
In the Brotherhood of Brass.
Cool.
So Ondran quickly summons his allies within the conclave, and they all quickly come to the decision that Goldmane must be investigated next, but discreetly so as not to cause widespread panic or resistance, especially from Goldmane's warmongering supporters in the council and his partners in the Brotherhood of Brass. And one of Ondran's agents report that Goldmane is visiting a foundry called the Trostre Crucible, the Inner Circle.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'd like to go there.
Is it on the map, the Inner Circle? It's not on the map.
Can't be there then.
They could at least put the places that are in the bloody adventure on the map, couldn't they? What's the bloody point of a map? Right. So you reach the foundry, and like every other factory in the city at the moment, it is working at full clap to produce as much weapons and ammunition as possible for the city's defense. The air shimmers in a heat haze from the vast furnaces, and the sound is almost deafening. A lone watchman minds the gate, but as the characters arrive, 36 off-duty workers are marshalling in the street outside. An aged Dwarden veteran in a mechanized wheelchair handing out rifles and spears and providing basic instruction on their use. And Vargi, you'll know this is sort of like like each forge has its own kind of self-defense protocols. Basically, like every Duarden is pretty good at fighting, you know, and marksmanship. So they are waiting for any sort of breach.
Levying all of the garrison.
So you make your way into the furnace proper, and you see the workers in there at the coalface, literally. And if you ask, any of them can point you towards where Goldmane is. And once inside, you spot him upon a gantry. Walking above the giant vats of bubbling liquid metal. The heat in the foundry is a constant assault, but Goldrock appears untouched by the temperature. He leans forward like he's drinking in the heat. So does, in fact, the person standing next to him. A grey-haired human who you identify as Captain Fournoy himself. Light gleaming off his brightly polished armour and a telltale grey cap sat atop his head. You witness an exchange between the two. Fournoy produces a blade, twisted and bloodstained, and dreadfully familiar. Goldmane seems taken aback for a moment, but even from a distance, you notice a covetous gleam in the Duarden's eyes. He reaches out and takes a hold of the demonic blade.
I like it.
Ooh.
Push him in. Push him in like C-3PO.
Yes.
Say the gantry's above us.
So you can...
Is there a way to get up there?
Yes, so you can try and sneak closer if you wish to hear what they're saying.
Dreadbark, do you want to sneak up? Bit clumsy, you see.
Also, just use my flying flower to just kind of like float up there. That's probably very like visible.
Yeah.
Imagine he's just there on the gantry, then he sees a Dreadbark just rise slowly to his eye level.
Hello.
Also, the music playing of the I've forgotten what it is. I've forgotten my chance. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That's it. Gotcha.
Yeah.
There we go.
Good boy.
Thought all my innocence had finally left my body. So go on, Dreadbark. Give us a stealth check.
Alrighty. We're going to try and stealthily clamber up the gantries. Which seems pretty unlikely, but whatever. What's the DM?
4.
Alright then. So 2 successes.
Okay. So you managed to creep up to the end of the walkway that the 2 beds stand on. And you start to hear what they're saying. And you hear Goldmane say, "This indeed is a strangely beautiful weapon, old friend." He holds the blade close to his ears, hearing its dark whispers for the first time. "It will serve me, the Brotherhood of Brass, well in defending our city the right way. A great gift from Astrid Thornoy replies, barely hiding a sinister smile. And at that moment, they both turn towards you, Dreadbark. And Goldmane says, excellent timing, champions. The Brotherhood of Brass has a beneficial proposition for you.
He's speaking to all of us. Are we all there now? Or?
I mean, presumably just Dreadbark, because the rest of you are down.
He's talking to Dreadbark, but he does speak to you as if he knows that you're all obviously together, like you always are.
Guys, I think you can come up now. They know I'm here.
Oh.
Okay.
I can think of vanishingly little that a servant of the ruinous powers such as either of you could offer us to pervert us from our true purpose, traitor. But go on, tell us what your god of blood and bone and murder would consider a fair deal.
Goldrock harumphs as he holds Gore Drinker. And he says, it always surprises me to hear one of your type speak so eloquently. I do wonder perhaps if all of your kind did so, perhaps they wouldn't be in this mess. But we are where we are. Now my proposal to you is that you leave myself and my colleague here, Captain Thornoy, to defend the city against the Sylvaneth, who seek to destroy all of Greywater and what it stands for. And once the city is safe, me and my followers, as well as Astrid's followers as well, will leave the city, and we will set up a new settlement in the Gyran Wilds. My pioneers have worked out a way to sustain us.
And what will you do there? Will it be an artistic colony of peace and inward-looking tranquility? Something tells me not.
I could say that, but you wouldn't believe me, and you know it isn't true. But either way, we leave the city, or we die attempting to defend it.
I'm thinking. And while I think, why don't you tell me how Captain Thornoy, why don't you tell me how you and Astrid poisoned my people? Forced them to begin the fight that you now benefit from. How did you do it?
Thornoy looks at you, then back into Goldrock, and then back to you again. And he says, do you think that it was us that turned you into mindless killers? Have you not always been this way? Have you not always struck out against your supposed allies and torn them to pieces? Some of your kind relishing the bloodshed? I do not think that it was us who turned you into what you are. I believe you just needed the right push.
I see. And how was it that you pushed us to claim our true selves as bloodthirsty creatures, as you see it? What clever little push did you do, you Erebus, you?
You Erebus. I don't know who that is.
And nor do you.
And-
It doesn't exist.
What's Erebus?
Oh, sorry, let's not get it. It's a 40k reference. Doesn't matter.
The ultimate traitor.
Yeah.
Space
Dig
Marine.
into that.
He's kind of a worm tongue, but he's a much better worm tongue.
Mm.
Yeah, he's a
Okay.
good.
But
Yeah, worm
worm
tongue.
tongue if he was a lot smarter and like didn't get caught for a much longer time.
Yeah, and a Space Marine.
And also a space marine.
Fornoy says, trying to remember the whole like macro story now, the whole campaign. Good.
Just say I'm thinking. It'll buy some time.
Yeah, that's true. Actually. Now I shall think.
So why are numbers down this month? I'm thinking.
Hold, please. God, think back to the whole campaign. What was it?
I mean,
Oh, I know.
if there's something that we have in our power to fix.
Yes. You asked how he made you do that. Well, I think he says. I think Goldmane says. Well, no. Sorry. Fornoy says. He kind of waves his hand dismissively, and he says, "Well, I feel that the my colleague Goldmane here, his abduction and torture of your kind didn't perhaps go down so well, but we were able to offer up scapegoats in order to protect the true members of our society. But apart from that, the very presence of our city seemed to incense them into mindless violence. And we are all the more happy to oblige their bloodthirstiness and lust for war. After all, the blood god wills it."
I tell he's lying.
Intuition.
You've lost your faith in Sigmar, I take it.
Is that like an icebreaker?
Yeah.
So, come here often. I hear you've lost your faith in Sigmar.
I think Fornoy just gives you a malicious grin.
You know we are the Soulbound. Excuse me. Do you know who we are?
Now,
What's the DN of the intuition?
it'll be a 4. It'll be against his whatever.
Two. Wow. Okay, that was improbable, but cool. 2 successes.
No, you do not know if he is lying or not.
God damn it.
But it checks out with the facts that you do know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, Klaus, you say you said about you being part of the Soulbound, and Goldrock says, "I, and therefore your priority, should be the safekeeping of one of Sigmar's cities, and you may be reminded that not only are these his people, but also this city powers the war effort across all of the mortal realms. Would Sigmar be happy if you allowed this city to fall? Would he not? Would he not? Go on. I was just.
think
elaborating.
Sigmar would be happy if we let a bunch of marauding corn worshippers loose? Murderous as they are.
Even the God King knows how to use allies of convenience and pick the worst of two evils. You could do that, or, and his voice drops to a sinister hiss, you try to arrest us here and now, but Forno and I won't go peacefully. The city depends on us, and the Council of the Forge has made itself clear that it will fight the Sylvaneth menace head on. He glances once
great.
more.
So they're going to be doing that with or without you then, eh?
My partner makes an excellent point. In that you seem to believe that there is no way we can defend the city without letting you live. What say we kill you, take your head, show it to these bloodthirsty Sylvaneth, and tell them that their enemy is dead? It's worth a try, don't you think?
Your god would love that, wouldn't he? Taking your head.
Seems like Khorne would enjoy it.
Mm.
I know I would. Bloodthirsty Sylvaneth that I am.
He says, yes, and I suppose your people would stop in the middle of a city siege just because you have killed one person in this city. Surely they would stop then, instead of wanting to kill all.
Well, the way I see it, this siege is happening anyway. I don't see any reason to trust you. I don't know if you want to be on the walls or not. I don't trust a word you're saying. I know that I'd rather know you're dead.
Spoken like a true soulbound. Well then,
We're all in agreement
what?
then.
Any last words?
Let's start.
Dead to me.
Yes.
Any last words? I'm looking forward to this. As he raises Gore Drinker above his head.
Klaus is gonna start channeling some golden magic in one hand as he utters, right, Goldmane, we can take you in warm, or we can take you in cold.
He finally got to say it.
Yeah.
Sichuan, it's a little bit warm in here. I think we could do with a breeze.
No hurricane for you.
Oh.
If Mikey's not here to argue it to death, then
Ooh.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Right, so 22 minutes left. Let me just see.
Shall we discuss more about, shall we continue this conversation on for the rest of it?
I feel like if this is going to be a bit of an epic battle, it would be cool to
Start
It would be
session.
prudent.
start a session
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Plus,
Yeah.
won't that mean Daz gets to come back for literally the last session
This is not the end
of this adventure?
of this chapter, yeah.
That's what I meant. Sorry, chapter.
Yeah. I mean, somehow I don't think it'll take too long. I mean, we can do a few turns. I just haven't made them up. But we can do Theatre of the Mind. Let's see. The battlefield has 6 zones, 3 crisscrossing walkways above the main floor. So you've got 3 zones of walkway. and 3 zones underneath. With the with the big vats.
I mean, it would be pretty good for it to just to kill one of them, Terminator 2 style.
That is
Okay.
true. Yeah.
That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah.
This is Greywater with a kick.
Yeah.
Nice.
This is my city. I'm sure Dread said something about his city.
So I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen Dread, actually. Too long.
Too long.
Only recently.
Well,
One.
Dread.
Which one's that?
The one entitled
One's
Dread.
called Dread.
Well, the newest one.
I think it is the newest one. It's about 10 years old.
with
The
Butcher.
80s one is called Judge Dread.
I
The-
see,
With
yes.
Carl Urban in it.
Yeah, there's the one with Carl Urban, and then there's one with Sylvester Stallone. I think it's the old one.
Stallone's the best, man.
Stallone. No, he's not. Not
I
Stallone.
mean, he's
That's Arnie.
oh,
Stallone!
No.
Judge Arnold and Judge Dredd.
He wouldn't even fit. Right.
Too bulky.
So Gulburn's got initiative 5, and Forno's got initiative 3. So the Duardins get to probably kill a whole one of them.
Activate Buffbot!
+1 damage, +1 accuracy. Brink.
Alright, well. I'm gonna stun the party. Stun it. I'm gonna stun it into absolute silence.
You're going
by
to stun the party? Okay, so everyone
Yeah.
reduces their...
I couldn't just shut to everyone, but
Stun Szechuan if I ever got the chance. We're gonna do the old fuck you Fornoy special shot. It's the headshot shot, please. One of those.
Cold shot.
Yeah, cold shot. Aim for the head.
Cool.
Brat, brat. How tough can it be? What's the target's defense, sir?
He's average. He's a
Average.
mortal man.
He's about to find out just how bloody mortal he is.
Way.
We're gonna do the same. Actually, I probably don't need to. I probably don't need to use my metal yet, do I? Bam! Range bonus 1. Bam! Well, we didn't get. We got 1/6 with the focus. So that'll be 8 damage while I'm piercing, please.
Okay. You wound him. How am I going to do this? Oops. I'm just going to make a little freehand. So, cool. So he's blooded. Did you call, was that
Blooded.
called shot?
That was called shot.
So he's stunned as well?
Yep. Actually, sorry, that wouldn't have done that much damage because I didn't increase the DN appropriately. It shouldn't have been DN2. He's average. That puts him up to grey. So, okay, it's just 1 less damage.
1 less damage.
But then he will do the same thing again, not a cold shot. Just aiming fit body. Same again, this time it with 2 armor piercing.
How much damage?
8.
8? That's a bloody major wound, that is.
Oh,
This
deadly
might
wound,
be
that
over
is.
soon if it was something like the last one.
Yeah. I can't Can't wait for the old bloody last hitters to turn up.
Yes.
So,
executor.
and is that
Also
including
executioner on the way?
Sichuan's damage as well? Bonus.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Yep.
All right. Well, Goldmane Cold. No, actually, no. It's Klaus because the players go first. Initiative 5.
Ayo.
So
Right.
Fornoy's looking pretty shot to pieces, but he's just clinging on. And Goldmane is untouched.
Vargi, I bet you can guess what I'm gonna do.
I think I know.
Gift to Shimon. Shimon. Let's actually, I need to follow through. Sorry.
Yeah.
Transmutation. Then Goldmane's looking shot. Olly is not.
Other way
So,
around.
oh, okay. I was gonna finish that rhyme, but Goldmane, you're coming in cold. Taking you downtown.
Why do it to the main characters? Right.
Because
Okay. Well, he doesn't have any fortitude, so.
taking him cold. I said it. I have to follow through.
Right.
Stop following through.
So how many successes?
Dos.
Are you counting your focus points?
No. In that case, 3.
I'm not gonna do it for you because
Yeah.
apparently I do that all the time. 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even if I play around with it, it's still 3.
So he needs to do a 4/3 body on 3 dice.
Come on.
No, he totally fails.
You golden bitch.
Goldrock!
Ah.
Which means he has now armor 3. But it is for 3 rounds.
Let's tie up the fight and then he's permanently gold. Come on. Make a cannon.
Huh?
If the fight ends before it runs out, he's permanently gold. It's not in there.
I mean, it has to be continuously for 1 minute, which is like 6 rounds or 10 rounds. So we could do like we can do like
Do like an extended test afterwards, couldn't you, basically?
yeah.
Can we carry him while he's made of gold, or is he too heavy?
I'm sure Vargi's got some athematic pistons in his suit.
Let me just take out this. I've got this handy unfolding athematic fork truck.
I think you
I
could.
just mean if we can just cart him out to the battlefront with a knife at his throat, he could admit it. He could admit that he caused it all, and you know, sue for peace. I don't know. Just kill him.
We chuck him in the volcano, be done with him.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to do, but yeah.
And I think that ship is.
Prepare for mounting him as the figurehead on my ship. Anyway.
I'm still savouring that moment. Turned a man to gold, and it was a good man to turn to gold.
It was a good man to turn to gold.
Turn a man to gold, and he'll be gold for a day.
Isn't that your
Teach a man to
short-term goal, Lawrie, as well?
I don't know. I don't keep track of those no more.
I feel like it was.
What happening?
I feel like it was.
Oh no, it was.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You just have to wait for the appropriately dramatic moment to do it.
Because I did the badass.
Yeah. Well, then Dreadbark then.
Well, since I was gonna absolutely murderify Goldrock, but since he's now made of incredibly resilient gold.
Yes.
I'll splat Pornoi instead.
Sorry, I didn't use my metal.
Ah, would you like to?
Yeah, can I just gift a Shimon on Vargi?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I got too excited.
Also, chat is definitely wanting you to just push him in the vat and melt him.
Who needs a volcano? It's already there.
Exactly.
Perfect.
You've got the 3 massive volcanoes.
Someone should be pushed into the vat for sure. For
And
certain.
Klaus, you can turn that liquid metal into any other liquid metal. You could have
Like,
transmutation.
I don't know.
or like
If you say it, if that's how it works, then yeah, sure, I'll roll with that.
osmium.
I'm
I
down.
don't even know if osmium is
I
a
mean,
metal.
you'd want something
Anyway.
that has a higher melting point than gold. For sure. But if it's a steel forge, I'm sure it is. Anyway.
Just Dreadbark's going to shoot a big old fuck off arrow into Portnoy.
Farquaad.
And it'll be the same deal.
Okay.
So, what? Sorry, I thought someone said something.
No.
Cool. So yeah, it'll be the same deal. Cold shot into the head. And hit him win on twos. Yeah, so it's the 6 plus 1 for Sichuan.
He's
plus
dead.
You have to let him finish the +1s.
1. No, I didn't get any 6s this time, so I didn't get any AP. So it's just 9 damage.
Yeah, well, he's been shot to pieces by the volley gun, and he's like leaning on the side of the railing, and he's like, blood, or the blood, and then an arrow the size of his own leg goes through his neck.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love how
Knocks
they're
him
so.
over the railing, and his corpse falls in the molten metal.
Yeah.
I love how they were so cocky to fight us. Yet they've seen us dispatch so many.
Yeah, well, I feel like you're definitely peaking in terms of power, even without the hurricane. But to be fair, the buffs are just after a while. So I guess that's effectively combat over.
That's number wang.
That's number wang.
His finger nom.
The walkways start to shake as you battle across them, and you feel like they're not very stable to stand upon. So you only have seconds to decide what to do with Goldrock.
This is Greywater, or Sigmar, sorry.
Yeah,
If that's what Klaus does, that's what Klaus does.
force push.
Voices in my head are telling me to.
Well, that's always a good idea. That's the reason.
I'm not saying it's psychotic. I'm saying it's Twitch chat. Voices is Twitch chat.
Yeah. the fifth column.
Yeah, that's just Opal. You don't listen to them.
Wow.
Shush, Alex. That could be our new Warhammer player in Manchester. The start of our new group. Our new Warhammer group. And I can finally do my fun and fluff birthday campaign that I've wanted to do for about 5 years.
Like 5 years.
Have you made a new friend that's not me?
I think Milo has. Milo might have done. Against all odds.
Or approve of that kind of behaviour.
Yeah. Unsanctioned.
Yeah. Definitely unsanctioned.
Alright, so see, we didn't need 20 minutes. We didn't need
As
to
it
wait.
happens.
I think we're getting a bit executioner style now, aren't we? A bit.
Yeah.
You're the one executing.
Yeah. I mean, this.
Funk.
I think this is
Yeah,
definitely
the workhorse and the executioner. Great tactic.
This is definitely my number one complaint about Soulbound. Is gets too lethal too quickly.
The power has got quite high, relatively quickly. Yeah.
I think you've all taken characters who can hold their own in combat as well, or have good utility.
I think I took Unbind and Dispel a few sessions ago, and there's just been no spell castings for against Khorne.
Yeah,
Probably wasn't wisest choice.
that's cheeky shits.
Cheeky shits.
Cheeky shits.
What are they doing? What do they think they're doing?
Bloody cheeky shits.
Cheeky shits. Fucking bastards. Naughty fuckers.
Yes. Aussies hate Khorne, as it turns out. Well, you return to Onderan and the Grand Conclave, and they accept Gulban's death, and Captain Forno's death was a necessary step into removing corruption from the city. They hold the feeling that it will weaken the defense efforts of the city, as the Grey Caps and the Brotherhood of Brass falter as they go into disarray. And Ondran says, I feel it is now up to you now more than ever to save the people of Greywater from death.
I can feel it.
Yeah, and that is
Corn in the air.
Stab. That is the end of Blood Red Roots, and you do get the full 4 XP.
Oh, bye.
Spoiling us.
Gracious me, I shall try not to spend it all at once.
1 for completing the adventure, 1 for uncovering evidence against Astrid, 1 for uncovering evidence of corn worship in the Western Barracks, and 1 for bringing Captain Fornoy and Goldman Goldrock to justice.
Frontier justice.
In this case, their death.
Right.
And
Yowza.
let me just see. If I can give you a little next time on Soulbound. We can do like a endeavor, like a quick one at the beginning of the next session, but I will give you the kind of the next time on what will happen after that. You hear the opening volleys of war deflecting off the city's guardian idols, and the hands begin firing into the Gulmir in return. The Sylvaneth have arrived. Criers begin relaying decrees from the Grand Conclave. High-level siege lockdown is now in effect. The workways of overhead grind to a halt. Rattle-trap couriers gallop through the streets desperately delivering orders, and spoke road merchants hastily pack up their wares. As the Grey Gate begins to close, the city's elite retreat to the Great Axle, and workers head to their assembly lines. The well-defended factories are much safer than returning to their ramshackle abodes in the outer circle. You see a familiar face approach. Captain Terzo Heights, with an armed escort from the Ironweld Arsenal in tow, finds you. Ondra needs you, post haste. I am to take you to Forge Haven. Dun dun dun.
Sorry, busy.
Excuse me.
And Forge Haven is the super cool Conclave underground strategy bunker.
Oh, nice. I don't know about this.
Nice.
There's a bad bastion.
Oh, that's
Forge
true.
Haven sounds like my kind of place.
That's true, actually. The Hollywood handshake, but I can't remember. Yeah, the joke was the Great British Hinge Off, which makes me the Paul Hollywood of Soulbound, which means I can give Klaus the handshake for finally doing transformation, transmogrification, transmutation on the big one of the big bag.
Golden gold.
I think that's the first time anyone has said the word transmutation correctly throughout this whole campaign. It's always been can I transmutate it? Transmograph it. Transmutate go.
Transfigurate it.
That's right. I wish it was called that. That would be much funnier.
I metal him. Metal the man.
No, no.
No.
No. Goodbye.
That's enough now.